I'm making Chori Pollo this morning. Just got home from work, walked the dogs, watered the garden, showered, and here I am making some Chori Pollo. So what I have in here is 1.5 medium onions, just sliced, and a stick of pork chorizo, salt and pepper, and olive oil. And I just let this cook down a little bit. And I already cooked the chicken. This is 2 chicken breasts that yesterday I sliced into thin strips and seasoned with garlic powder, some chili powder, onion powder, comino, salt and pepper, and some olive oil. Just cook this in olive oil. And now I'm going to just dump it back into the pot with the rest of the ingredients. Just mix it on up. This is my version of Chori Pollo. It's very similar to what you get at the Mexican restaurant. The only difference is I add sliced onions, and at the restaurant they will add, or they'll serve it to you as one entire chicken breast, like a thin breast that's been cooked on the stove, oven, however they cook it. Not really seasoned very well, just kind of plain, maybe salt and pepper, but very bland in my opinion. And then they'll serve it with some chorizo on top and some of that melted cheese, and you eat it with chips. So basically it's like an appetizer in my opinion, but they serve it as an entree at the restaurant. Anyway, this is done. So I'm going to turn off the heat, and this will feed me for the week. I'll take some over to Mom too, because she likes Chori Pollo. Even though she doesn't like meat, she likes Chori Pollo. When it's convenient for her, she'll eat the meat. Anyway, this is done, so I'm going to just let it cool down, and then I'll put it in the fridge. Oh, what time is it? 7:37, and it's about time for me to hit the sack. I had a long, extremely busy night at work last night. Didn't sit down for the first time until about 3 a.m. and that was it. After that, nobody else checked in. So we were golden for the rest of the night. It was a much needed break after the busy night that we had. Anyway, now it's time for sleep, because for some reason I couldn't sleep past 1:30 yesterday afternoon. But I made myself just stay in bed and rest until 3:30 when I got up, which was half an hour late because I just wanted to sleep. I just couldn't. My brain was running a mile an hour. Anyway, okay, so this is done. It's gonna cool over there in the pot. And tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll make some Mexican rice. I just don't have the energy for it today. Not this morning. Maybe if I wake up in time this afternoon before work, maybe I'll make it today. But tomorrow morning, more than likely, is when I'll make it. And I'll eat the rice with the Chori Pollo and some chips, some corn chips, and that'll be it. That'll be my lunch for the rest of the week. So, I was just out here, minding my own business, sitting and watching my garden grow, and I just happened to look through the leaves, and I've seen the very first few green beans. Look at this. adorable are these baby green beans? And then there are more. I mean, they have been flowering for the last week or so. So it's only natural that it start putting on some fruit. But look at that. And here too. This one is full of flowers. I am just so ecstatic this year that I'm able to grow these beans in the green stock. Now, I don't see mama bird or daddy bird. They have not been flying out or around the nest today. Is that the nest? Yeah. Oh, there's no eggies. Maybe that's why. I wonder what happened. Did another bird come and eat the eggies? Oh. Well, that would explain why there's no mama robin or daddy robin. Their babies got taken. That's so sad. I was really enjoying watching my little robins. Some more baby beans. I guess I'll just have to settle for watching the baby beans grow. And all of my caladium. Here's a little baby caladium. How adorable. And these zinnias must be dwarf variety because look how short they are. They're not tall by any means. And look at this. This is my purple potted pole bean. Oh wow. Look at this fat sucker. The garden is just full of amazement this morning. And some disappointment. No little baby birds. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed. Uh-oh, just lost a pea. Yum. Yummo. Garden candy. Oh, that shell. Garden candy. So sweet. So sweet. That one was a surprise. He was hiding down there big time. Anyway, like I was saying, my purple potted pole bean found its way up the trellis, and it's winding its way up to the top. Here's the tippy top of it. I'll just help it along. And the other bean that I planted is here. Oh, it's finally starting to take off. Here is the top of it. This is the Chinese red noodle bean. Can't really, it's getting snuffed out by all these peas, but it's there. The leaves are a little wonky, but here it is. This is the top of it, and it's gonna find its way through all of those peas also. And that's the only one I planted of the Chinese red noodle bean, just for some visual interest, you know, wondrous amusement for the people that walk by and watch the garden. But here's the if you can see, these are some of the leaves from this one. This is the purple potted pole bean on this side, and it is growing up from the outside of this plant, and it's making its way up. I see the Here it is. I didn't know it was this tall on this side. All the way up here so far. Nope, nope. It keeps going. It's still, oh, here it is. This is the tippy top of it. Yep, so they're making their way. Look at these wonky peas. I think because these ones had aphids on them. Good morning. Guess I'll harvest some of these. Yeah, I found aphids on some of these peas. So, anytime I see them, I just smush them. Smish, smash. Oh, look. Prime example. Can you see? This bean has aphids on it. Oops. Dropped my pea. Yeah, that pea had some aphids on it, so they got smashed. Oh, dropping all my peas. Okay. Let me go sit down and continue watching my garden grow. Oh, disappointment, like I said. So these little pots have been planted with beans, pole beans, and none of them have germinated. It's been over a week, probably more than a week, and no germination. So that leads me to believe that possibly the one that germinated at Mom's house last few weeks ago may have been the sole germination, and maybe they didn't get eaten by the bugs. Maybe they're just duds. I just bought some duds, and I've been wasting my time on trying to grow those different beans. So what I'm going to do is plant some purple potted pole beans in those, because I know that they will germinate and that they are viable. And I have some other pole beans as well, so I forget what they are, but I will pull those out and pop them suckers in those little pots and get those germinating as fast as I can. Mom had germinated a few, and she planted them in her garden, wherever that is, at the house. So anyway, we'll get some beans, if only from those bushes, but we will get some beans this year. Just another example of the wondrous amazement that I keep finding all over my garden. Look at these two little itty bitty carrots, and this wonky one. This one is wonky. They were growing amongst the garlic here, and I figured I'd pull them because I don't want them to compete for the nutrients. I want my garlic to get as big as it can since it's growing, you know. It was just an experiment, and they were itty bitty little garlic cloves that I planted, that I just didn't want to use because they were just too small in the kitchen, you know. So I threw them in some dirt and let it go, and that's what I'm getting. Some garlic over there, just a few, more than likely really tiny heads of garlic, but nonetheless I'm just excited to see what I get out out of those. But those carrots were a surprise. Now, I did have carrots planted in that bucket last year. Only germinated a few, and then they went to seed, so the seed fell. Actually, I did try to germinate again, and I sprinkled a bunch of seeds, and so that's probably one of them that actually took. Remember that wonky succulent? Well, look at what it's doing. It's opening up from the top, and the bottom is still closed. It's actually pretty funky looking. It looks like it's got a bunch of babies, like all those little babies that I planted, like that one there. They're all around in here, just hiding. But I planted a bunch of babies. There's a couple. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. And I plucked the mama hen out of this circle to give all the babies some space to grow. But also on this side, I don't know if you can see, but all those little white specks, those look like bugs. And I have no idea what kind of bugs they are, but it looks like they've spread to here also. Oh, they're aphids. Uh-oh. I need to get some neem oil out and spray these bad boys down. Oh, man. See, full of disappointment. And look at this kale. Full of aphids. Oh my goodness gracious. That one's coming out. Hello again. Alright, I just discovered something new. Since this morning, a new development. This wonky cactus or succulent has a bloom. That's what those little things are that I said look like little babies. Look at that. It's blooming. I've not seen any of these bloom ever. So isn't that cool? And it's got a bunch more on it. So I guess it'll be dropping seeds, because that's what flowers do when they dry up. So that's pretty cool, because this is the one that I have the least of and that I want more of. It's very interesting. It kind of has this webby detail. Not sure if you can see it very well, but there's like a white webby thing that just is part of the succulent. Anyway, I think it's really interesting, and I am pleasantly surprised. I just woke up from my sleep and walked the dog, and I came back and I saw that. Pretty cool. Look at this garlic harvest. I was not expecting this. Not at all. They're kind of brown, and so I was like, I'm gonna pull them because it's not looking great. And I just figured they'd be all teeny tiny like this one. But look at that sucker. And a few of these are pretty good sized. I am so surprised. Very pleasantly surprised. Happy with my garlic harvest. It just had a tiny little spot right there. And these were from itty bitty little cloves that I didn't have the time to fool around with. Isn't that pretty awesome? I'm just gonna let them dry here on the table. And I'll take care of them later, another day, when I have time in the next couple of days. But yeah, what a pleasant surprise. And another pleasant surprise, I just discovered this second tomato plant is growing. It was hiding under the garlic foliage, and that's the bigger one. And they are called very cherry cascades, so they will cascade over the edge of the barrel. And look at this. Amaranth here is starting to flower. How beautiful. I just planted this. I just transplanted this plant. Amazing. This one's still pretty small, but it'll get there. Anyway, I just harvested a bunch of peas. This is just a small handful. My pocket's full of them. And I was over here harvesting peas, and I had the dogs on the other hand, their leashes I was holding with the other hand, and this entire pack of German Shepherds came running up. I'm talking like a pack of them. Like there was one big German Shepherd. It was a white German Shepherd. Look at that sucker. And the others were just puppies, but they were like adolescents, you know. They were bigger than little puppies, but anyway, not quite teenage puppies yet, if you know what I mean. But they all came running up, just galloping up to me, and the dogs didn't know, but I saw them coming, so I started screaming, "At!" They weren't malicious or anything. And then I just dragged Sadie and Jackson into the house, and I threw them, kind of just like flung them in the house, and slammed the door closed real quick. But the German Shepherds, they all, like, this is like the watering hole for all the dogs. They all just come here and like pee and sniff and everything, so they all sniffed right there at that spot. And then I tried to like pet them, you know. I put my hands out and I was like, hey sweetie, come here. And they weren't interested in me. They just sniffed and took off running back that way again, where they came from. But that was interesting. So it looks like my peas they may be drought tolerant or heat tolerant, but I'm telling you, this back patio gets blasted with heat in the summertime. So they're starting to turn yellow. And once most of the plant looks like that, I'll pull them up. But for now, they're still producing some peas. These ones are wonky. This side of the trellis kind of got hit with aphids. So, ooh, look at this sucker. Look at how fat this one is. I gotta open this. I have got to open this one and see how fat these peas are. Oops, just dropped it. Bear with me. Can't do it one-handed. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, they're not that big. Some of them are kind of small. A couple of them are larger, but delicious nonetheless. Look at this one. Just one little pea pod. Yeah, these little plants aren't doing that great because of the aphids. That's why they're all wonky. And yeah, this one's full of aphids, look. Full of aphids. Ugh. So maybe that's the reason why they're turning brown too. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let them stay for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna pull them up and give the trellis to the bean, because the bean needs, oh, here it is. This is the tip of the bean. The bean needs to be climbing up the trellis now. I just might even plant another bean down there at the bottom, just in case that one peters out for any reason. But this side is doing pretty good. This side is healthy, doesn't have any wonky peas. So this side actually had some pretty giant peas. Like this one's pretty big, but I'm letting it bulk up. Some of them that I picked a little while ago are just huge. Anyway, look at the peppers. So happy for the peppers. Oh, these ones finally germinated. Took them long enough. Long enough. Well, I'm happy with my germination rate, to be honest. At first I didn't think it was going to happen, but now I'm really glad. Look at them. They're small. These ones are growing because I gave them a bigger home to live in. So that's what I'm going to have to do for all those other ones. Anyway, I'm just glad that it's the weekend because I need to get out here and plant these tomatoes over at Mom's house. And let's see the bloom on the succulent here. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh. That just makes me excited. Look at how pretty. And I'm expecting the others to bloom too. This is like a peachy color. I don't know if the camera does it any justice, because this camera is not that great, but with the sun hitting it from behind, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I've never seen one of those bloom, but I'm so happy to witness it now. Oh, my little strawberry that I threw in here didn't make it. But ooh, my first bean. Look at that. I'm gonna pick it. I'm picking it. My first green bean. That's so exciting. Kind of tastes like the peas a little bit. Not really a fan of them fresh without being cooked, but I mean, what else am I gonna do with one green bean? Yep. No more baby birds. I think I'm gonna pull up all the lettuces from the top tier and plant some of those golden alyssum up there. Give them a bigger home to live in, and can't wait to see them in bloom. They'll be so beautiful.